Yeah, oh, you guys are going to learn a lot tonight.
What can they learn?
You know, like you guys are students now, so you're idealists, but you don't know about where art and corporate interests meet yet. Just prepare to have your heart broken. Like, in a way, you see him laughing that evil laugh? Because he knows, man, and everybody laughs at me, but just get your Africa tickets ready, baby, because it's coming. It's coming. You have no idea.
What I'm going to speak on is the thing that's on my mind the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we all got to deal with every day, but don't really know. The industry. The industry. Man, it's not the same. Doesn't have to do with talent. It's about playing the game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going dress like this and talk with the bat. The industry. Got your word? Meaning nothing. The industry. Fuck what you heard, because he's bluffing. The industry. Money, bitches, hate. But I dare you to try to take a fucking thing off my plate. The industry like, wait! But in the streets, we like, get 'em. 17 up in that thing. Catch them sleeping and hit them. The industry, if you ain't got a strong mind, the industry will break you down. It's a matter of time. The industry, vultures with nothing to feast on. See me? I'm getting my beast on. The industry, stay in the dirt, play in the dirt. Test the wrong one in the industry and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. So I do what the fuck I want, because nobody can finish me. The industry, wanted, dead or alive, new artists to sell their souls in the way they survive. The industry don't give a fuck about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. The industry, I'm sick of this industry shit. The industry playing them like a industry bitch. They tried to finish me quick, but I am long, so I stand strong. Fuck a beat. Listen to the words in the damn song. I only know how to speak the truth, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little short joint I'm gonna hit you with, you know what I'm saying? And it basically reflects on my relationship with the industry. This is what it is. Often, my words fall on deaf ears. Motherfuckers be listening, but don't hear. Talking to a nigga, he be sitting right here. I be like, where you going? Nigga be like, yeah. Thank you.
You know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
I first came to Arizona, man, and I remember one day coming from the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and pulling over on the highway. Be like 4 cars, you know, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country. You know, because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. You know, and it's not so much who, it's what, you know, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people You know, you can't call one person the devil.
Joe Arpaio?
You know, you can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil. You know, and you know, it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what, this is God's country because I met the devil here. Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realized that this is God's country because he helped me get over these obstacles. He helped me get over these hurdles.
Okay, so but when you're done here, when
Yeah.
you're out of here,
I'm not looking back.
you're not coming back?
No, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back for a show. I'm not coming back for a visit. I'm not even driving through the states. If I'm in a plane and they're going to fly over it, I'm going to go around, okay?
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
You know, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
How I came about being a lyricist is weird because I started out technically, like I used to write all the time, you know, before I started going into the Rain Man thing, you know.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. You know, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with you know, with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
And you're too busy to see it, probably?
You know, in a way, you know, once my job is done on the film, it's really none of my business. You know?
Really, none of your business.
Yeah.
So you deliberately don't look at the finished product?
Oh yeah, I stay as far away as I possibly can.
Is that right?
Yeah. If I can, I try to stay in as profound a state of ignorance as possible.
Well, you come to the right place. You're exactly where you need to be. That's interesting. And is it, and forgive me, is it a little insecurity?
Just, you know, I don't like, I don't like watching myself.
Yeah.
I prefer the experience. I mean, making the film is great.
Right.
The process is all fine. But then he's up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children, and you know, who the f do these people think they are? And they don't know what happened. You know, I have not spoken about what would make a person walk off the set of a successful show and go to Africa. But again, people don't understand it, so they call me crazy, and I don't like that.
What should they understand, Dave?
What should they understand? Well, I did 2 seasons, and it was very easy. Not very easy, but I didn't go to Africa. And then suddenly when I'm getting paid what they said was $50 million, I can't do it anymore.
And I remember we had an FBI consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they could shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior to joining the picture, the FBI consultant. And it was like one of those phone calls that was like, you know, what are you wearing type of things.
Really?
Yeah, so it was mad weird.
Wait, so you mean they had a record of you from
2 years prior to me joining the picture.
Even being associated with the movie?
With the movie.
Well, that seems
It's
creepy.
extremely creepy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm trying to think of what the last 4 phone calls I made.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all.
This machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences.
And I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, you know, kind of bastardized. If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like, that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Look, man, at that point in your life, it's something so real in contrast to what Hollywood is, a very powerful illusion. And when your dad died, it kind of just broke the spell. Like, oh, this is bullshit. Look, I've been spending so much time doing this. What about my family? What about my friends? Wait, whatever happened to my friends? Damn, I don't even have any friends. Ugh. So I bounced, man. New Year's Eve, 1999, I moved into that farm, and that was it. As far as I was concerned, I was done with show business. This was happening. And then I got to make some real choices, man. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm gonna find a way to be myself, man. I gotta, you know.
Brainwash our people with the mind control theory. That's what they do. So that makes our people like it. They keep playing that same song. The same song keep playing, you're gonna start to like it. You start to get probed with it. You start to get cloned with it. Then it just takes over. It takes over the human body. It takes over the spirit. It takes over the soul. And therefore, behold, that's what you got.
I'm not crazy at all, okay? Everybody always saying that Dirty is crazy. Dirty is not crazy at all. Dirty just foresee a lot that a lot of people don't foresee.
It does not mean they're like, oh, like they can't acknowledge God. Is it bad to say, like, what are they supposed to say? Satan on the track? So should he go, I pray Satan? Like, what are they expecting? What are they really expecting? But yeah, he's, you know, I have his latest album and it's dope. And you know, it just has a variety of everything. It's not just God. And it's not corny at all. Like he talks about life, he talks about his experiences, he does what he wants to do. So like, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
I mean, it's funny. We talked about Kanye before. I mean, what was his line on Jesus Walks? If I talk about God, then my record won't get played.
Yeah.
It's like, man, all these people will talk about killing, sex, all this shit, and the radio play it. But if you talk about God, then
this is how sinister. This is important too. This is how sinister this industry is, and that is so true. You talk about God, your record won't get played. But yeah, I explained the chain reaction of like rappers talking about that negative shit, popping mollies, turning up, doing all that stupid shit. But if you talk about God, why wouldn't you want to spread that message to somebody's mind? That means the radio stations are going, you know what, let's play this because it's going to fuck these people's minds up. And it's going to cause them to do more fucked up shit, which puts them in a lower position. So it gives them more of a chance to not be like the people who are successful. And it's like, why would they want to do that to society? That's fucked up. And that's even like, I feel like if a radio station goes, we're not gonna play that because it's gospel. So a rapper can go, I'm turning up, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm doing this, I'm fucking in the club, doing whatever. They can say that, but you can't say God, you can't talk about God. Like, that sounds like Satan to me. That is exactly, it seems like something Satan would do. Would be like, no, we don't talk about him over here. No, we just play this stuff because we're trying to fuck up mine. So that sounds like something Satan would do. Why would you only play that fucked up music? Something's going on. That's when you snap out of it and go, something's going on here.
Because there's a bunch of devil workers in Hollywood. And there's a lot of black folks too. And they be throwing up them signs, you see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
Well, what is this?
Oh, the devil in this mess, yeah.
Because I froze this up. I thought this was rock on.
Be careful. No, the goat, be careful. They'll get you. Be careful.
Your message to your fellow Americans, I gather, is open your eyes.
Open your eyes. Don't sleep. Don't fall for whatever they feed you. You know, a lot of kings were poisoned because they were loving of their subjects, and a lot of times, you know, there's just wickedness, and you have to know that there's wickedness in the world. You have to know that there are people who are just here to profit and to put their foot on the back of people who are poor and who don't know any better.
I gave this guy a handshake, you know, and then he's looking at my hands like, you know, because we were doing press, like for Wire Image or some shit in Toronto. So I gave him like a handshake, but you know the hip hop shit, you point like the gun point. So he's like, oh shit, that's the new sign. But I didn't peep that he was telling me that at that moment. I just wanted to take a photo. I did his party.
Wow.
He thinks I'm gangster. He has all the G-Unit mixtapes. He thinks I went to Catholic school, bro. Like I don't know nothing. But he said I'm gangster. I kill, and I still walk around with Uzis, right? So this guy, you know, I always thought about like, you know, Jay-Z doing these signs. Everybody's doing like signs, trying to connect with other people. But meeting him, like just him randomly telling me, oh, that's the new sign. Then he did it. He did the gun sign. So he assumed that that's the new way of communicating to whoever is in the hierarchy. Because he's assuming because I fuck with 50, I'm already in the hierarchy that I understand the whole symbolism of whatever they do.
Because at the end of the day, it's about power and control.
Yeah.
You know, they control the world. You know what I'm saying? It's already there. It's just a matter of like, you know, people wanting to be aware of it, make a game out of it, do whatever. It's just, you know, people want to know what's going on. We're in the age of knowledge right now. It's all about trying to figure out what's what, you know, globally connecting. You see a lot of stuff come through the internet, and it just sparks people interest. It's the boogeyman, you know.
You know what else, Lupe? They know that, you know, we don't read. Not just black people, but
we.
Yeah.
Us.
This section of like the world where people just don't give a fuck about what's going on. They just depend on the news. They don't read. So, you know, I've been reading like Angels and Demons and all this fucking the lost symbol. I'm reading that right now, actually. But I'm like a fan of all. You know, they're never gonna tell you the truth, but it's good to understand or know and just be aware that there's some shit going on.
Yeah, I believe in the Illuminati. There is a certain level that you get at that you can't go no further unless you're aware of certain things. And I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level that you get to, that there's a door that you have to walk through. And it's on you to walk through that door. And once you walk through that door, there's no coming back. When you get to a level of success, when you're getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's 3 different doors, right? There's 3 different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is you're on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man. Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that when you went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the homo shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
Any like German fetish parties going on later?
I don't go to fetish parties. I went to one time. I've seen them really bad.
Was it like a donkey show or?
No, actually, you know, I think they actually kill people there and stuff. They pay like up to like 100,000 people to see people get
executed.
I'm not kidding. To another one where literally I saw like the grossest. I wanted to throw up.
Cause you just gonna have to let real shit be real shit. Cause these motherfuckers are attacking real shit at every motherfucking angle. If you a real motherfucker, they hate you with every fucking thing they got. They can't stand it. They hate what you look like, what you're wearing, what you're driving, what you talk about, what you think about. They fucking hate.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
That's why you gonna have to be in tune with your star fucking player. These motherfuckers want you to be miserable. They want you to be sad. They want you to feel like they feel. You can't feel like the fuck they feel because you ain't like them. You gonna have to get every fucking laugh you can possibly get. Fuck what they talk about. They want you to be sad because they sad. Fuck.
Online, I know you don't spend all your time online, about Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit. And Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors are always, you know, being asked to wear dresses. Have you ran into that? And what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's 2 answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress, at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers got to wear a dress? This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, you got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, huh? What? A prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. Huh. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a stink.
If you notice, Oprah has a finger to the temple. A lot of folks don't understand what's going on here. She's really taking her eyes off Dave Chappelle in the interview. Check out her eyes. She's looking at the monitor to make sure that her fingers is to the temple. So the elite will know that she is not with this interview because Dave was not a part of the brotherhood. Let's bring some illustrations of what she's doing. The finger to the cheek, the finger to the temple is really about the Masons that you will not tell the secrets. Let's go to a more in-depth illustration. This is Master Mason, man. Whenever you see that finger to the temple, that's a mark Master Mason. What does it say? Masonic ritual and monitor illustration, the sign of a marked master. For Oprah to be a billionaire, she would have to be in the Master Masonry on the female side. We cannot make these things up, people. Oprah was absolutely looking at the monitor to make sure that her finger was to the temple. Who did they get these teachings from? The master himself, Aleister Crowley. As I told you before, all these celebrities have this man's book as a Bible in their house somewhere. Now look at Oprah, looking away from Dave at the monitor. Then she looks back at Dave. She's making sure that her finger is to the temple because she's not with this interview. She now realized that Dave is not a part of the brotherhood.
I read some of your letters, man, because you know a lot of them hit the internet, man. One of the things you were talking about a lot while you were in prison was a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, it's real.
Talk to me about, because I remember, can we bring this up real quick? It's just it's from your letter. I'm going to read it. It says, the exact moment in time when I discovered the entire planet was being lied to and was put upon a spell to keep us unaware of it was back in 1996, around the time Biggie got locked up for the tech in his house. And then there was something else here that I thought was interesting. You said Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead. First of all, a lot of people, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati, like that there's certain rappers in the Illuminati, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye, and so. Do you believe that they're rappers in the Illuminati?
Nah.
You don't believe that? Okay. So how do you see sort of the role that these conspiracy theories play? Like how is the black community being controlled through that stuff?
Just through food, you know, their environment, you know, medication, you know,
branding, just like it's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of, you can go down the whole line. It's a whole web network of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I believe. You know what I mean? People are definitely being manipulated. You know what I mean? It's a business.
Yes, I do. Because that's real deep, man. 9/11, I could go on and on for that with that. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I'm gonna say is that just look at how the buildings fell. You know what I'm saying? It didn't fall as if, you know, the plane hit the building and the building fell. No, it fell exactly how a building falls when they do what? Controlled demolition. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just point that out for you. And 4,000 people didn't come to work that day. I'm not gonna say who them people was, but 4,000 people didn't come to work on that particular day. And it's not, once again, it's not a coincidence. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Yeah, I think the Illuminati is real. It's all about rich getting richer and poor getting poorer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes sat down and had talks with, you know, with higher force to do certain things, you know what I mean, to keep the poor people more poor and the rich richer. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things involving the whole Illuminati situation, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I believe it's real.
Do you think that they have control over the world?
Yeah, I mean, they have control, you know what I mean? Just when you're using the word like control, we go back to things like population control. So, you know what I'm saying? I would say, yes, they have control. It's here. It's here. It's here now because basically, you know, peace to all the gods and the earths out there. In the 90s, they was telling us basically that, and I can even go back to the AIDS situation. You know what I'm saying? Since you asked me about, you know, do I think it's man-made or something to that degree you asked me. In the 90s, I'm talking about in the 90s, I had the knowledge of everything that's going on right now. You know what I mean? They even said that, you know, eventually money is going to be gone. We're going to be using more plastic. I knew about this in the 90s. And just to elaborate on the AIDS situation, you know, the reason why they created AIDS because they knew. They said by the year 2000, or that's why they were saying, oh, the world's going to be over. It basically was a new world order coming into effect. That's one of the things they meant. But they said there wasn't going to be enough fuel. You see, we had the gas crisis. It wasn't going to be enough fuel, enough money. Look, the recession is going on, and they had to get rid of they had to create something to get rid of the less desirable people. You understand what I'm saying? When they say the less desirable people, that's who? The poor people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why they put things like AIDS out there, HIV, to control the population. Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And your original question was New World Order. New World Order is definitely in full effect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that's going on, they're keeping track of what we're doing at all times. You know, just, you know, your whereabouts. You got OnStar, Easy Pass, all of this GPS, you know what I mean? All this stuff is keeping track, all these different tracking devices, you know what I'm saying? All our people being incarcerated, falsely accused, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things, but the New World Order is here now. A lot of stuff that's going on now was predicted in the 90s. New World Order, Illuminati, I've been knew about all that. A lot of cats are jumping on the bandwagon, and they putting a lot of these rappers up there and saying, oh, he's a part of the Illuminati, oh, he's this, but they don't really have the knowledge to understand that we living in those times now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely I think the New World Order is real.
People controlled him. They controlled him. They did what they wanted, and it was very difficult for him to say no, no, no.
You must have seen this happening. Was there anything that you could do or say to Michael to change that situation?
It's very, very difficult because in situations such as that one, we've tried so many times to intervene. And it's not always that easy because they keep everybody at bay. They keep everyone away, actually. Everyone.
How did they do that?
By controlling. And I know because I have been in a controlling and abusive relationship, but by controlling him, controlling his thoughts, control what he does, not letting any, giving orders, not letting anyone through the gates, not letting anyone near security, things of that nature. And this way they have him and they control whatever he does. The phones, no phones in the house.
Do you think, Michael, do you think it's murder?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said it in the beginning, and I believe it to this day. You must remember, Michael told me repeatedly that they were going to kill him, that he was going to die.
And who did it?
Attending Dr. Murray's court case?
Absolutely.
What do you think about him delaying everything, dragging his feet?
What kind of sentence should he receive, Latoya?
Death penalty. That's what he should be on the firing range.
They murdered my brother, and they know who they are. It's not just Dr. Murray, I promise you that. It's more people involved, and they know exactly who they are, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly what's happening and what's going on. It's more than just Dr. Murray that's involved in this.
Will justice be served?
The doctor that you're looking at, the doctor that you see there, was the fall guy. That's what he was. He was the fall guy.
And so there are people in the background?
There are people in the
pulling
background.
strings?
Yes, absolutely.
Then Cat Williams came out and said what he said about Mike, but Cat Williams was correct when he said those mansion parties, and y'all don't understand what go on with that shit, man.
See, now you have to bring my viewers up to speed on that, because the whole Cat, I'm not even hip to that, what was said about that. Now, what did Cat Williams?
Cat Williams said they was letting him in, and the stuff that he was seeing was blowing his mind.
You in the ATL and a nigga doing drugs in the ATL, the nigga at least excuse himself, go to the bathroom or some shit. Niggas in Hollywood just do the drugs right in front of you and act like ain't shit happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you? Nigga, you right there. It's on your nose, nigga. What?
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited than a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nigga, come here, come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Obi? He came out the closet, he came out the closet. Oh my God, a rubber. Shut the goddamn door.
And I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all don't want to believe it, watch in the next couple of years. They coming after Cat Williams. Cat Williams tell too much truth. They coming after Cat Williams, man. Seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Tell me, I think people are curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How do you end up in here?
I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
I don't know if they do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Anytime you get it, I'm pretty sure they do. You know, there's how do I end up in here? You know what? I'm going to look at it in a positive light and say that I came here to meet somebody. Don't know who it was, but I'll know him when I see him, and I came here to give him a message. And that message is Jesus loves him. You know what I'm saying? I came here to give him the word. That's why I'm here. Regardless of what it looks like, you know, regardless of what people think, that's why I'm here. I came here to meet somebody and tell them about the glory of God.